Hello everybody. Security should be our #1 concern whenever we deploy anything on the net. So today we're gonna take a look at how security and user permissions work in Kuzzle. I have my Kuzzle instance here running on my laptop, and as usual I access it with the admin console that I can find at console.kuzzle.io in my browser. Now, I directly go to the Security tab here in my main menu, and I can see here 3 new menu items on the left: Users, Profiles, and Roles. So if I take a look at the only user I have here, called Admin, I can see it contains a profile IDs array with just one admin profile ID. So if I go to Profiles and I take a look at the admin profile, I can see I have a policies array containing one object with one admin role ID. And if I go to roles and I take a look at the admin role, I can see it has this form. It's a object hierarchy of controllers and actions, and it contains wildcard controllers and wildcard actions. Okay, so let's explain what's this all about. To understand this, we have to know how the Kuzzle API is organized. The Kuzzle API is a set of controllers containing a set of actions. For example, the document controller would contain actions such as search or create, delete, update, and so on, right? So here now in my role, I can define a whitelist of which actions I want to enable within which controller, okay? In the admin, I have used here wildcards because I mean that the admin role will be enabled to do everything because it's the administrator role. But if I go to the default role here, I can see there's an actual whitelist of actions within the auth controllers. It's check token, get current user, get my rights, etc., etc., etc. Just the basic thing that a user needs to do in order to manage the present in the system. And then I have info, the info action within the server controller that just allows the user to fetch a set of information about the Kuzzle instance that it's logged to. So let's have a recap here. I have seen that users contain profiles that contain roles, okay? So users can contain many profiles, and profiles may contain many roles, which enable us to define the user permissions as the sum of all the permission that each role specifies, okay? You can see roles as proper ACL specifications and profiles as sets of roles, and users can be associated to many profiles. So this is pretty much how you define user permissions in Kuzzle, but there's one thing missing. We've been talking about a thing called policies before. So what are policies for? Policies are contained into the profiles and contain an object. Here I have a role ID called admin. But the real power behind policies is that they enable you to restrict the scope of a role to a subset of data. For example, imagine you have a copywriter user that is allowed to create, delete, and update documents, okay? You may not want to allow these actions for copywriters within all the data sets in Kuzzle. You just want copywriters to work on content collections, right? So that's exactly what policies are about. They allow you to restrict the scope of a role to a subset of the Kuzzle data. So this is enough for today. That's where we're going to stop today. I understand this is a quite theoretical tutorial, but don't worry, we will put everything in practice on the next one. In the meanwhile, you can go to the essentials guides, the configure security guide in the Kuzzle documentation, and read it carefully so that all these ideas will take place in your mind. And if you feel confused or need any help, you can join us on Gitter and ask any question. We'll be very glad to help. So that's okay for now. I wish you a happy reading, and I see you on the next tutorial.